Hey guys, welcome to WaterBaby Tarot. I am Rodin, and today we're going to be doing another astrology and tarot reading for June 8th, Tuesday. Now, I noticed in the comments that I had questions on the first one that I did for Monday the 7th about time zones and how that applies if you're like in Sydney and it's like the next day or something like that. So I'm just going to be very explicit with you guys. I'm taking snapshots and I will tell you the time conversion for one, two, well, the four major cities for like four major cities, and that should be able to give you an idea of where that is for you at the exact time. Now keep in mind, energy is fluid, it's not linear, so even though this is like a snapshot of time, this is energy we've been in for a couple days. It's going to be with us for a little bit, and you're going to feel it at some point in time or have already. So don't get too caught up on, oh, this was taken at midnight in this city, so that day's already over for me, so it doesn't apply to me. There still could be useful information in there for you, so don't be super serious about it. It's probably my best advice. Yeah, don't take it too seriously. It's just energy that we're working with. It's energy that I'm talking about. Again, a lot of you like to also just learn astrology from things that I talk about, so take the information as you will. I'm just giving you information. After I get into the astrology of the day, I'm going to go ahead and do a tarot card reading. These readings, even though these are dailies, these readings are very general. And again, time is fluid, not linear. Energy is fluid and not linear. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. I blame Mercury retrograde. So these are general. Again, don't have to take it too serious. It could actually apply to something you've gone through already or could go through in the near future, depending on where you're at energetically. And of course, this is not going to be for everybody. I might get very general collective messages for how we're handling the energies at play. I might even get some specific channelings. You just never know, right? So stick around. There could be something for you. So let's just go ahead and get started. So you'll notice I am very far to one side. I have learned from doing that first video to keep some space for where we're going to have the aspects listed, okay? So if you haven't watched June 7th's video, I recommend going and watching it, because I'm not going to go into detail the way that I did before, talking about a few aspects, because we still got the same aspects going on. It's like not much changes day to day, but you'll notice in these videos I'll focus a lot on the moon, because the moon changes every 2.5 days or so. Even as it changes in the 2.5 days, it starts to create different aspects every day, right? So it's kind of fascinating. So you guys heard me talk about Mercury retrograding in Gemini, squaring off with Neptune in Pisces. I talked about that yesterday for June 7th. Won't go into detail there, but I will have the aspects listed here for your referencing. So if you want to know more about that, watch yesterday's video. Also yesterday I talked about Saturn, which is retrograding in Aquarius, squaring off with Uranus in Taurus. Won't go into detail today. Check out yesterday for detail on that. I also talked about Mars in Cancer opposing Pluto in Capricorn. Again, won't be going into detail about that today. Talked about it yesterday. But to summarize those aspects, which are still at play for us, we have a lot of feeling like tied down and restricted when we really just kind of want our personal freedom, or we feel like our personal freedoms are getting infringed upon. We also have a lot of confusion and illusions kind of going on. They're just kind of adding to the mix of things. So it's like we're confused, we're not communicating well with people, we're not communicating our needs very well either, we're feeling like society at large or other people are imposing their shit on us, and other people could feel that way about us, right? Some people might be viewing you as selfish because you're focused on your freedom, or some people are viewing you as somebody who's very rigid because you're pushing your agenda or pushing your boundaries, and vice versa. So that's been with us, that's going to be with us, because we have long-term planets with that stuff, right? Quick summary. Now, yesterday I did mention the moon is in Taurus, and it is in Taurus again today. Moon being in Taurus, as I mentioned yesterday, really highlights to us what our needs are, getting a little bit more in touch with our needs, how to feel secure, right? We really search out predictability and Venusian comforts in the physical sense for the most part. Also just in general feeling good, but just because Taurus is that earthy energy, tends to be our focus when the moon is in Taurus, which I think is actually really great, because with this whole tug of war we've been experiencing, that actually helps us to focus better on what really matters to us, right? It's not just about being in the tug of war anymore. We're actually taking a side that is healthy for us, that really enables us to follow our needs and make sure our needs are met. Now, the new stuff for today, for June 8th, I want to talk about. The moon in Taurus is about 25 degrees at the snapshot that I did. So moon is at 25 degrees Taurus, midnight June 8th Hawaii time. That is 6 a.m. on June 8th East Coast time. That is 11 a.m. June 8th UK, and that is 8 p.m. June 8th Sydney time. And I might have them listed here. We'll see how it goes in editing. If I don't, and I'm working on getting astrology software to make this a lot cleaner and easier for you guys to like just look at things at a snapshot. But if you guys really care about the time of when I am taking the snapshot of where everything is, to reiterate, Hawaii time, June 8th midnight. June 8th, 6 a.m. East Coast. June 8th, 11 a.m. UK. And June 8th, 8 p.m. Sydney. Okay? All right, so at that time, at that moment in time, the moon is creating a lot of aspects. Two really important ones. The moon is actually trine Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto is retrograding. And the moon is also sextile Neptune in Pisces at 23 degrees. They will be listed here for you. I just realized I'm like leaning further over here. I'm going to come back. I love this. I love this a lot because when the moon shifted into Taurus, it made us become very firm and driven, right, to understand our needs, to make sure we get our needs, and to not really be moved on that, right? Also to bring in the sense of like, what's going to make me feel okay, what's going to make me feel good. Now, with these aspects, it actually brings in a little bit of a sensitivity because of Neptune with Pisces, right? So there's going to be these opportunities to come up with creative ideas on how to achieve those things for us. Also, sorry for all the noise, there's like an airplane going by. Also with that Neptunian Piscean energy, that also is going to bring in a little bit more comfort with including other people in that, right? Being a little bit more sensitive to the role that people are playing in our sense of security when it comes to money or the material world or the physical world. But mostly I just feel like there's gonna be a lot of creative ideas and that Taurian drive to really make sure that we actually feel comfortable and secure within our lives and within our environments. And we know what we also stand for. I don't know why I feel the need to say that, but I just got that. It's like a little bit of a download, but that also is coming in. Now, the trine of Pluto is interesting because trines, I consider them to be amplifiers, like amplifiers of energy, mostly in a positive way. Mostly in a positive way is how I look at trines. Now, Pluto with Capricorn, we've been in that energy for quite a bit, right? We've been in that energy for a few years, because it's more like a few years at this point. Pluto Capricorn, especially in retrograde, is all about the dismantling of old patriarchal institutional ideas, right? So it's almost like, especially with Neptune, adding that like that positive influence, that positive way of thinking, optimism and hope, we're actually feeling a lot more hopeful about how to develop our sense of security out of the things that are now leaving our lives or leaving our reality, right? So for example, you know, this could just be a moment in time today or yesterday or the next couple of days where all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I'm going to be okay. You know what? I can figure out how to make money. You know what? I can figure out how to get a house. You know, it's like based off of what you've lost through the way we have lived for a couple hundred years has fallen apart, right? The flux in the economy, the flux in the real estate market, the pandemic, the pandemic, people wanting to leave their countries and go to new countries or even states or what have you. A lot of people's lives have changed a lot, you know, especially just in the span of the last year. Again, just kind of a glimpse in time of the feeling of like, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fine. And again, along with that, you can possibly be getting creative ideas on how to solidify your own sense of security, money, career, a home. I feel like homes are gonna be really big. They have been big. Is what I should. They just corrected me. They have been big. They have been big. But these couple of days, Monday to Tuesday, maybe even a little bit of Wednesday, you might even reflect back and be like, oh yeah, that's when I realized I could just do it this way. That's when I realized if I wanted to have this kind of living situation, I could just do it that way. It's like, I just feel like very innovative, creative ideas with that, especially around the home, especially on making money, and also just what can help us to feel okay. And also really identifying our needs. So really nice, really, really nice stuff. Okay. Oh, that's right. I got my little notes right here. A lot to remember. There's a couple other aspects that are supporting the moon in this influence with Neptune and Pluto. I'm not going to go into super details about it because they're not as strong. It's just a supportive factor. Mars in Cancer and Uranus and Taurus are also supporting all of this as well, okay, when it comes to the moon. I keep feeling like the home is going to be the biggest thing for people. I keep feeling that. Home and living situations are going to be like the biggest things. And of course, like your family, you know, especially if like you have kids, I feel like that's going to be super, super on your mind more so than normal. And you're going to feel good about it. There's a chance to feel more positive about it. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's get into some cards. Okay. Put these away. Okay, let's pull some cards for June 8th, Tuesday. For June 8th, Tuesday, what cards am I feeling? Actually feeling steampunk. So let's roll with it. Any messages for the collective? I'm hearing the word sensitive. A lot, actually. Sensitive, 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 sensitive. A lot of you will be getting these ideas through your dreams, because we have that Neptune Piscean energy. Through your dreams, your intuition. Your senses might be a little bit on overdrive, is also what they're telling me. Taurian energy can deal with the physical senses, right? So I'm not too surprised, but especially as it is kind of dealing with Neptune and Pluto in like this kind of amplified, positive way, creating opportunities because it's sextile, right? So there's gonna be a lot of opportunities that can come of this energy for the day. Just feeling like sensitive. I feel like it, like I said, I feel like it's mostly physical, but I feel there is like some emotion that comes up because there's such like a physical sensitivity to things, especially touch. Especially touch. Yeah, especially touch. Some of you, this is funny. Some of you might also feel a little sexy. I'll just put it that way. So you might feel a little hot and bothered. I just got a little bit of that like sensual, touchy, sensitive, like sort of energy. Really good day to like make amends with people if you're needing to do that, or if someone's needing to do that with you. Very positive day for that. Ooh, we have 8 of Swords in reverse and the 6 of Wands in reverse. I like it. Breaking out of the illusion of loss. Breaking out of the illusion of failure, breaking out of the illusion that things are going to go wrong. Again, it's like it's becoming more optimistic, right? About your sense of security. I just heard making more friends than enemies. I like that. Making more friends than enemies. I feel like there's a relaxed energy that comes with this too, because there's more hope, there's more optimism. And more sensitivity. I just keep getting there's more sensitivity, there's more sensitivity. Mars and Venus are also still in Cancer. That can also create quite a sensitive kind of environment. And the moon, like I said, is also being supported by Mars energy. Any other messages for the collective, please? Nice! Knight of Cups, Piscean energy. Oh, excuse me, guys. I like it. Knight of Cups is a very sensitive knight. Is a very sensitive energy. Oh, excuse me. I feel like there is this like letting go, like I said, of like illusions of loss, illusions of failure. The 6 of Wands can be a little bit of an ego card. It's Jupiter Leo energy, right? So it is kind of about winning. It is kind of about getting attention. But I feel like it's releasing the illusion of the lack of that. This is interesting. I am getting that energy of like really feeling like you're never awarded for your efforts. Some of this is definitely when it comes to family. Hearing family and work for most of you who really struggle with that, and that's been highlighted to you recently, and really feeling like you've needed that acknowledgement. I think some of you are coming to the consensus where it's like, the whole time you thought you needed that acknowledgement, that you thought you needed those accolades, it really was just an ego kind of thing, in that even if you were to receive that, it would feel good, but it's not that you actually need it, right? It's not an emotional requirement. It's kind of, it was just your ego telling you you needed it. That's interesting. That's interesting. The Knight of Cups feels very soft. It feels very yummy. This feels very, very nice. I actually feel like this is your energy. Some of you guys might be getting approached by people with this energy, but I feel like you're just harnessing it because there is a softening sensitivity that's kind of coming in here. And I like that. Again, I'm a channeler and I'm an intuitive reader. Don't get hung up on how this has to be for today. This is just messages that need to be heard. And I read for many people. Ooh, this is a harsh energy. Interesting. This was becoming up a lot too for people. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. This is coming up a lot in the monthlies I was doing for Patreon. Queen of Pentacles in reverse is Capricorn energy. Yeah, see, I feel like there's been a softening happening. I feel like you guys are almost moving from this being very focused on yourself and your needs. Not a bad thing, right? Because there's been a need for that. This is kind of an extreme version of that. It's not a bad thing. It just is what it is, right? And now that there's a softening with the Knight of Cups, it's like, it's kind of like a nice balance. It's like, okay, I've figured out my needs. I've figured out the illusion of things I thought were my needs and are not my needs. I get it now. I get it now, and I can relax a little bit more. I can be a little bit more sensitive. I can be a little more compassionate. I keep getting the sexy, sensual vibes. I don't know if y'all are like horny or whatever, but I keep getting this like sensualness kind of energy. It also feels very feminine. It feels very feminine. Like there's male sensuality, masculine sensuality, and there's feminine sensuality. I feel very feminine sensuality going on here. Interesting. I heard there was a hiccup. That's what I just heard. There was a hiccup. There was a hiccup. There was a hiccup. Uranus might have been throwing some wrenches in your life in the last couple of days, or for y'all just say recent past. I just keep hearing there was a hiccup. There was a hiccup, and there's like a stressed energy associated with it. Nine of Swords had just came out, and that's like, I was like, oh, what is all this that I'm picking up on now? There was a hiccup. But I had a bit of a tower moment. Or some kind of mix-up. Almost like, yeah, that's almost how this feels. Like there was some kind of mix-up, or something was like not handled right or misunderstood. It's like there was a hiccup. Something just didn't go according to plan, is what I'm getting, and I think it caused a lot of stress. I think that was Uranus at work. So just check where Taurus is in your chart. Again, Moon is in Taurus, so not surprising that there will be so much emotion attached to whatever Uranus is throwing at you, because they're both in the same sign, right? And like I said, Uranus is even supporting these moon aspects. It created opportunity for you guys, though. Okay, thank you. God, this is such a big message, and I haven't done pulling cards out yet. For those of you who are experiencing hiccups or towers in the last couple of days, or something kind of going kerfluffled, like not going according to plan, or some kind of mix-up, it stressed you out more than it normally would have, most likely because the moon is in Taurus along with Uranus. Again, moon is emotions, right? Having that emotional attachment or reaction. I feel like it was really a lesson in what actually matters to you. What actually matters to you. And that's the whole point of moon being in Taurus right now, along with the energies that we're working with. And even the moon is in Taurus in general, that's what it is supposed to do, to highlight for you. Yeah, so don't worry about whatever got screwed up, messed up, lost, whatever. Don't worry about it. You're going to realize whatever you need to realize and what actually matters to you out of that situation. Like if you like lost something, you're going to realize it's not a big deal. You might have had a serious freak out about it. But you're going to realize, oh, maybe that actually didn't matter as much as I thought it did. It's giving you perspective. So let Uranus do its work. Let the moon make you a little emotional. It's going to teach you a little something. Remember, Saturn is also square Uranus, right? So there is also that component of, as things get shaken up by Uranus, what are you going to learn and how you're going to adapt because of Saturn. It's interesting. I also getting that some of you guys are just learning to not be as hard on yourselves. Ooh. Now we have the Empress in reverse with the Queen of Wands. See, all this feminine energy. I knew it was all feminine. Yeah, see, sensual. I'm feeling such sensual energy off that Queen. And there's a struggle that came up a little bit yesterday. Empress usually doesn't stand alone. She can, usually doesn't. Usually has other people that she needs to manage or cater to or deal with, or an emperor to deal with, because Empress is about running empires, right? Queen of Wands is very independent. Very independent. I am getting this like very, I can't get away from the sexual energy, from this feminine energy here. This is a want and desire to be independent and not have to be obligated to other people's needs. Again, in whatever hiccup happened here, there was a little bit of this like, oh, I need to really focus on myself. I really need to figure out my shit. I really need to figure out my needs. I don't want to really cater to other people right now. I really want to cater to myself. And I keep getting this sexual energy too. So I think maybe feeling the need to have like some sexual freedom or independence. And with that, there has been a little bit of a harshness coming off of you, right? Again, this could also be vice versa. People around you could be like this. And this harshness, I think, probably has been a little off-putting to people. But you also, through the hiccups, through whatever mishaps have happened, and being able to focus on yourself and kind of being a little selfish for a change to realize what your needs are, you also realize the illusions of what you thought your needs were, what you thought was important, what you thought you needed, and you got a little bit of a reality check from the universe here, and now you're like actually allowing yourself to soften a little bit with that Knight of Cups energy. Really nice. Overall, we do have the Star in reverse, Lovers, ooh, and then we got a King of Wands in reverse, with the Two of Cups, and the Hierophant. I gotta do it, and the Chariot. Oh, definitely getting a whole other group of you now. Okay. I'm getting another group of you here. This is definitely for those of you who are dealing with another person. One is just all about you right now, and the other is all about us. One of you is about I, one of you is about us. That's all you need to know. That's all she wrote. I mean, it's like, it's self-explanatory, right? All about I. And then there's this like, you know, almost like softening trying to happen, right? And that's going to come in as the Nine of Swords dissipates. As the Nine of Swords goes away, which again, this feels like it's all about the mishap, miscommunication, kerfuffle. As that dissipates, softening is going to start to come in. Now, coming into the overall energy. Ooh, I know it's a lot. We got the Star in reverse with the Lovers, King of Wands in reverse, Two of Cups, Hierophant, and the Chariot. Lovers and Two of Cups together. I mean, that says a lot here. With the King of Wands in reverse, it's like this masculine energy, I feel like is kind of lost, kind of confused, not sure what to do, not very hopeful about what to do about a situation with another person. Hierophant with the Chariot, that is about movement around a commitment or obligation to or from. Could even be about a move of some sort, okay? For those of you where that applies. I feel like for those of you where you are dealing with another person and you're in that scenario of one of you is all about the I and the other person's about the we, the us, there seems to be a major not being on the same page here. I feel like that has an opportunity to turn around as both of you start to realize and let the reality hit you of what it is you both actually need. Like I said, the illusions, letting the illusions kind of fall away, right? And whatever mishaps have been happening in either of your lives, once the stress of that falls away, you realize what's actually important, and you can actually soften and be a little bit more emotionally honest and available about what both of you need. If you're in that boat, that's what's going on, okay? Whew. Some of you are realizing your needs are to move away from tradition. I'm getting that with the Hierophant and the Chariot. Moving away from tradition. This sensual energy. Sorry, this is like still pulling me in so hard. You know, we still have some of that full moon Sag energy. We have Mars moving into Leo very soon, like very soon. Mars is almost done with Cancer. And even Gemini. Gemini can even be a very flirty sign. Like all those signs really can lean towards kind of like playing the field kind of energies, right? Being sexually free, being flirtatious, meeting people, and having that kind of fun. I just get a really strong pull of that. So just be mindful. I mean, even like the full moon Sag, like the energies that were at play, the aspects, there's a shit ton of squares. Also really did lead into like affairs and things like that. I'm not saying that's gonna happen. I'm just saying the energy, potential energy is there. But yeah, I really just see a lot of that push-pull of independence versus obligation that we have with Saturn and Uranus and all that. And I'm just seeing that for those of you in relationships or dealing with someone very close to you, there's definitely this, I want to worry about the I, while someone is worried about the we. And there is this kind of disconnect that's happening. And it seems like the masculine energy is the one that's about the we. So be mindful. But again, sorry, I know I'm all over the place. I'm getting pulled back into this Nine of Swords. Whatever hiccups have taken place recently that have kind of thrown you off or that you've been emotionally attached to, because the moon has been conjunct with Uranus and Taurus. Again, that hiccup is meant to highlight the reality of what's actually important. So go through the hiccup, go through the emotional up and downs, and then you can kind of lessen that harshness and kind of sit into that like Neptunian Piscean sensitivity, and things are going to run smoothly again. Okay? Okay. Let's look at this Knight of Cups energy. Let's look at the softening. I'm probably not going to be on here too much longer, but let's look at the softening. I'm going to do Tarot Illuminati. Time with the Knight of Cups. We have Seven of Wands with, High Priestess, Eight of Cups. Then we have the King of Cups in reverse and the Three of Swords in reverse. There's that like rough energy I was feeling again. I feel, yeah, this just feels like a deep desire to obligations of other people. Like a deep desire of that is like how I wanted to kind of illustrate that. The High Priestess, I feel like, is acting as like a secretive energy of like what's kind of not being spoken on. The Eight of Cups with the King of Cups in reverse, Three of Swords in reverse. Eight of Cups speaks of moving forward, moving towards a Ten of Cups. But King of Cups in reverse is emotionally detached and like not present. Three of Swords in reverse implies that there has been some tension or discomfort here. I feel like this is an internal processing that's been going on here. And I feel like it relates to you guys in your harshness or your roughness as you've taken time to kind of figure out what your needs are, right? Including whatever kerfluffles have been kind of going on that have really thrown you off emotionally. There's a lot of internal processing of what to do and how to deal with it. And like I said, the energy for Tuesday with Neptune dealing with the moon in Taurus and Pisces, along with Pluto and Capricorn, it's like there's a lot of opportunity to get really interesting ideas or intuitive hits on how to solidify your sense of personal security. Okay, that's Seven of Wands energy. I feel like it's just like it's just a fire. It's like Seven of Wands sometimes can be seen as like brave or even closed off or defensive. I don't feel any of that. I actually just feel motivation. I just feel motivation. Play with the Knight of Cups. Play with the Knight of Cups, please. that's it. Overall, yeah, 9 of Pentacles in reverse. And Page of Swords. Underneath that, we have 7 of Swords in reverse. Yikes. And the 10 of Swords in reverse. So like I said, for those of you where this is also hitting on energies, that download that I got about you dealing with another person, for those of you in relationships, again, it's like there's one person that's all about I and one person that's all about us and we, and it's like that's a very different page to be on, and it seems like it's just going to come out right now. The 9 of Pentacles in reverse with the Page of Swords, 7 of Swords in reverse, and the 10 of Swords in reverse. That 7 of Swords with the 10, it's talking about this 3 here. Kerfuffles and mishaps that have kind of taken place, whatever those are on a minor or major scale. Again, a lot of these are minor arcana. I would consider a lot of this to be minor or fleeting. Have really made you feel unstable, not super happy. Oh my God, I thought I needed this. I thought I needed this. How do I solidify my security? And then you're going to realize, oh, I didn't really need that. Or you're going to get some perspective and insight on what it is you actually need for your sense of personal security. But for those of you in relationships, with the 7, the 10, and the 3, and some like secret processing of how to deal with these emotions and how to deal with like wanting to be about I versus someone who wants to be about we, this definitely seems like there's going to be, with the Page of Swords, some realization or confession on like, hey, this is how I've been feeling, or hey, like this is what's been going on, or hey, I think I really need to like not be in this right now, or to not do this right now. That's not a bad thing, right? If you know your needs, you know your needs, and it just really is as simple as that. I'm not saying all you are going to have breakups on Tuesday. I'm not saying that. The energy is just here to know what you need. Even if the universe gives you a shakeup, it gives you a shakeup. Some of you it's going to be with relationships. Some of you it's going to be with some sexual freedom. Some of you it's going to be in the realm of work, right? Somebody's going to be in the realm of friendships. It's going to be different for all of you. I would check to see where you have Taurus transiting your houses right now, because that's where you're going to probably see it the most. I would also check Aquarius. I would check Taurus and then Aquarius is what I would do. And then I would check Capricorn, because Taurus, the moon is also aspecting Pluto on Tuesday. Okay? So no matter what, no matter how hard it is, no matter how bumpy it is, you're going to figure out what your needs are, and there is going to be a softening that's going to happen, because you're going to finally get that dose of reality. Excuse me. That dose of reality and that dose of hope that Neptune and Pisces tends to give, and you know you're going to be fine. Okay? Okay. Let's get an advice card, and then we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to do Soul Journey for this. Any advice card, please? I don't see any, like, signs that are dominating. I see Scorpio, Capricorn, Aries, Venus, Pisces, Leo, Gemini, Taurus, Cancer. So I'm not going to focus on any particular signs. With Pluto Capricorn also aspecting the moon, if you have like Taurus in the 12th house or in the 6th house, I would expect that this would be a little bit more significant as far as any kind of like karmic wrap-ups or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. You probably would already know. Any advice regarding this spread? Couldn't even hold on to the card. Denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. It's almost verbatim what I've been saying, right? You guys are going to get some shakeups. Some of you have already gotten some shakeups, and it's really affected you emotionally because the moon is literally in the same house where those shakeups are probably occurring from, right? Your emotions are more invested in it. Your emotions are more attached to it. They're a little bit more amplified with any shakeups that are happening right now. And it's putting you in a state of needing to focus on yourself, maybe even being a little bit more selfish, and that's fine, because you're figuring your shit out, right? We're all human. We all got to do it, right? And in doing that, you're realizing things that you might have really prioritized are not as important to you or not actually what you need. You're just getting insight and clarity on what you need. And maybe you've been afraid of admitting what it is you need because maybe it leads to something that's kind of painful or hard to do, right? Or maybe it leads to something that requires a massive change on your end. Whatever it is, this card is also saying that there could have been some fear tied into all of this. And once you come to that knowing of your needs, you can just follow that and implement that. And again, Neptune Pisces is making you feel like you can do it. It's making you feel a bit more hopeful and positive about the situation. Also more sensitive to anybody you need to be sensitive to, right? And that's okay. That's okay. Because once you know, you're feeling less chaotic, right? Once you understand the truth and you have that awareness, you're not in that state anymore. You're not in that stressed out, freaked out, emotional state anymore. So even if it's bumpy, that's okay. Even if it's bumpy, that's okay. All right? Whew, okay, I might just label this part 2 and just put it gets bumpy at the end of it. I hope you guys found that insightful and helpful. Don't forget to check out Patreon. Everything else that you need is linked below for your convenience. And I hope to see you guys really soon. Have a good night, guys. Namaste.